FEMA employees have now been fired for directly disobeying the directives of the President of the United States. DOGE, you see, has begun its purge of the organization. Yesterday, Elon Musk announced that DOGE had uncovered a $59 million payment made by FEMA to luxury hotels in New York City for, you guessed it, illegal aliens, because why not? Musk has claimed that this expenditure violated the law and the presidential executive order, asserting that the funds were intended for American disaster relief, which it was. I mean, seriously, guys, FEMA, what the hell are you doing? Now, acting FEMA Administrator Cameron Hamilton swiftly responded to DOGE's findings. They suspended all related payments, pledged to hold responsible the people accountable, which they did. They are now fired, and criticized Congress for passing bills in 2023 and 2024 that directed FEMA to engage in this type of work. And now the reckoning is beginning. This is an article from the UK Daily Mail, titled DOGE Starts Their Purge of FEMA by Firing Top Agents Who Put Up Illegal Migrants in Five-Star Hotels. Donald Trump's Department of Homeland Security just fired the officials and agents in charge of finances at FEMA. FEMA's chief financial officer, Mary Comans, lost her job, as she should, after it was revealed that the agency paid $59 million to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal aliens. The three other involved in the disbursement of the funds also lost their job, this according to a DHS official. Effective immediately, FEMA is terminating the employment of 4 individuals for circumventing leadership to unilaterally make egregious payments for luxury New York City hotels for migrants. Illegal aliens. Firings include FEMA's chief financial officer, 2 program analysts, and a grant specialist. Comans and her team are arguably the most powerful group at FEMA, as they control its billions in fundings. Well, not anymore. Now, FEMA has already been the subject of much anger over its alleged refusal to provide aid to pro-Trump Floridians and North Carolinians hit by the hurricanes last year. The recent firings at FEMA, however, are unrelated to the hurricanes and come after Elon Musk revealed last week the lofty payment made to New York City hotels. Now, Musk has hinted over the weekend which federal agency his Department of Government, DOGE, would shut down next after it eviscerated the USAID last week. They basically fired 97% of all the employees there. President Trump's billionaire first buddy has been on a rampage. That's a new way to put it. With his newfound power over the U.S. government, and he revealed on X that DOGE found out that FEMA sent $59 million, etc., etc., etc. Musk demanded FEMA, which falls under the Department of Homeland Security or the DHS, take action to get the money back by clawback demand. Sending this money violated the law, and it is in gross insubordination to the president's executive order. That money is meant for American disaster relief, and instead is being spent on high-end hotels for illegals. Good for Musk. Now, Assistant Secretary McLaughlin said that her boss, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, would continue to take action to make sure Trump's orders are being followed by her department and the agencies that fall beneath it, saying, under President Trump and Secretary Noem's leadership, DHS will not sit idly and allow deep state activists to undermine the will and safety of the American people. And this is a good move if they take the money back. It's going to give pause to any other large corporations that might want to deal with rogue agents. Anyway, the UK Daily Mail goes on to write, FEMA was at the center of controversy last year when it was excoriated for an overall slow and underwhelming response to the deadly and destructive hurricanes that hit the East Coast. Okay, so let me just put it to you this way. Frankly, this is long overdue. There's so much waste within the federal government. It's systemic. FEMA has been a hallmark of this kind of bloat, waste, and systemic corruption and political bias. I'm sure we all remember Florida. Remember how reports began surfacing of a FEMA employee who instructed disaster relief workers to avoid homes with Trump signs in Lake Placid following the Hurricane Milton? That's right, this FEMA staff member advised her disaster response team to bypass homes displaying support for President Donald Trump while conducting surveys.
And someone feels uncomfortable, we can't go to that home. If you have loose dogs and someone on the team is comfortable with dogs and another person is not, we can't go to that home because of safety precautions.
So you feared the Trump houses. The people on FEMA were fearing the Trump houses like they were fearing people with vicious dogs in their backyard.
Exactly. And just and that's based on the trends.
Now, she was fired by FEMA shortly thereafter for her actions. But the incident in Florida led to the discovery of a much wider pattern of discrimination. In Washington, the former FEMA employee involved claimed that the practice of avoiding homes with Trump signs was not just isolated to Florida, but also occurred in the Carolinas after hurricanes. Reports began surfacing that FEMA employees were skipping homes displaying Make America Great Again, Drain the Swamp, and Don't Tread on Me, or Trump campaign signs. And during a White House oversight committee, a new whistleblower provided a credible account of discrimination in Georgia, where a FEMA contractor allegedly advised an elderly disabled veteran's family to remove Trump campaign materials from their property. The contractor reportedly stated this advice stemmed from his FEMA supervisor's view that Trump supporters are like domestic terrorists.
FEMA supervisor told their employees to skip houses with yard signs in support of President-elect Donald Trump following Hurricane Milton. That information confirmed to us by FEMA in a statement. We're also learning that supervisor has been fired. In the statement, FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell said this went against the agency's core values and, quote, "I want to be clear to all of my employees and the American people. This type of behavior and action will not be tolerated at FEMA, and we will hold people accountable if they violate these standards of conduct." The Office of Special Counsel is now investigating the matter.
Now, in response to these allegations, the Department of Homeland Security Inspector General launched an audit of FEMA in December of 2024. To investigate these claims. Of course, this was under the Biden administration. So I would argue that any such investigations are likely suspect, considering the mass corruption that was going on with the Biden regime. Thankfully, it didn't just stop there, though. House Republicans, including Transportation and Infrastructure Committee Chair Representative Sam Graves and Subcommittee Chair Scott Perry, requested an investigation into FEMA's conduct during relief efforts. And so now legal actions have taken place. Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody filed a federal lawsuit accusing FEMA officials of conspiring to discriminate against Florida hurricane victims who supported President then-elect Donald Trump. Meanwhile, a 2024 audit revealed that FEMA failed to close out disaster declarations in a timely manner, with 26 programs leaving nearly $9.4 million in unliquidated funds remaining open beyond their approved periods. It seems obvious to many that FEMA has lost their mission focus. They've been diverting resources to support things well beyond its original scope and authority, such as spending over $1 billion on welcoming illegal aliens to the United States. And to top all of this off, it's of course a bureaucratic nightmare. The processes for federal assistance with FEMA is ridiculous. There are so many barriers that are arbitrary that keep people from getting the help that they need. Essentially, FEMA is the DMV of disaster relief aid. And so, FEMA is now rightly under a microscope like they've never been under one before. Honestly, I hope that Donald Trump gets his way here when he called for the dissolution of the agency and instead offered direct financial support to states and local jurisdictions directly. This is where things really should be taking place anyway. People on the ground are more likely to care about the end results, which means you're going to get a much more efficient aid to people who need it the most.